Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Beauty with a Twist. I'm super excited for this week's episode because we have a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kasey Boone.
Where are you from? Let's hear it.
I'm from LA, born and raised. I'm a real Valley girl.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shaking right now. Okay? You should see I'm like fangirling. Can I just tell you that I've been wanting you on this podcast for so long?
Really?
And I'm like, now that you're in front of me, it's just crazy. I feel like, I don't know.
I'm happy to be here.
Deja vu right now.
I love it.
So tell me more about yourself. Tell me.
I've been an esthetician for 18 years.
Okay.
I started as a makeup artist.
Oh, really?
But before that, I was a dancer. So I went from like dance to makeup to skincare.
How did that even happen? Oh, well, you know what? It makes sense because in dance, you do makeup.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So I was like I was like putting on fake eyelashes.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, all the girls would like line up and have me do their eyelashes. And I was like, wait, I think I'm good at this. Let me go to school for makeup, but like I don't want to do facials. And then cut to like me finishing esthetician school. I like never did makeup again. Like I barely like to do my makeup now. Like I'd rather pay someone to do my makeup.
Yeah. It was like, it's the clean girl aesthetic now.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, good. Because
Exactly.
before though, I would always do the cut creases.
Oh my God.
I would always do like the smoke. And now
Yes.
I'm just like, you know what?
Clean.
Yes. I'd rather have my skin looking nice.
Exactly.
And then just tinted moisturizer, CC cream or whatever.
Exactly.
So you were doing the makeup and then when did you go to get a certification for makeup?
Yeah, I got a certification. I couldn't wrap my brain around the fact that like you didn't need to be licensed to do makeup. Like I just couldn't, I didn't understand that. So I was like searching and like esthetician kept coming up. And I was like, okay, like let me do this. Like it'll look good on my resume.
Yeah, because I think it's under makeup's under estheticians, but also Cosmo.
Yes.
Because they do it, right?
Yeah. But
So-
like anyone can do makeup in LA.
Yeah.
Or like in California.
And then did you decide like, hey, I just want to, what made you become an esthetician after that?
I fell in love with skincare during school. Like I just like loved the process of facials. And I feel like at the time, like makeup felt so intimidating to me. I mean, of course, like the beauty industry in general is like competitive, I feel like, which we can get into.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the skin was just like calling my name. Like I've always been like that type of person where like even my dad talks about like when I was a kid, I was like touching him or like pulling his hair onto like I just like to touch people.
Yeah.
Like I'm very like
Even if it's gross. Like
even
you're
if
like
it's gross. Yeah, I'm like give me a pimple to
Yes,
pop. Like
yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like I'm just very like tactile. So it just made sense to me. And like I literally started doing facials after school and I have not stopped. Like it's just for 18 years. Like I just love skincare.
So you've been an esthetician for how long?
18 years.
Are you joking?
No.
So
I can't believe I'm old enough to even say that. But I started when I was 18. I'm
You
36.
You look great.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Skincare. Maybe a tiny bit of Botox.
You mean don't zoom in because I got the filler. I got that.
You look great. You look great.
So then after you, okay, did you go solo right away?
No. And I recommend people not to go solo. I had a very long journey. I started in a day spa as a receptionist when I had my license. So I learned like the whole back end of like how a spa is run. And then maybe like 6 months into working at the day spa, they finally like let me into the treatment room. I was there for like 2 years. Then I got a job in a medical spa. So I was like a part-time medical assistant and part-time esthetician. So
you learned all like the business stuff and
Yes.
how to kind of like to book appointments
Yes.
and just kind of how to
Like-
run the back end of a business.
exactly.
And that's really smart. Because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people now just go to school and go straight into like being solo.
Right.
And it's kind of, but that's why they're not successful, right? And they're
Yeah.
kind of like, well, I'm not getting clients, but it's because maybe you're not knowing the back end of it, right? And
I mean, running a business and being an esthetician are two totally different things.
absolutely.
Like I always knew that I wanted to own my own business, but I knew I needed to get experience before I could just like jump right into it.
yeah. And that's kind of where you kind of
Yeah.
took all of that from.
Yes. So it's like I learned how to book appointments, do laundry,
Oh.
just like managing clients. But yeah, it's like for the first 5 years, I was still like working as a receptionist and then working in the treatment room part-time. But if you're solo esthetician, you have to be all the things. You have to do the laundry. You have to make the appointment. So it was really good experience before I went solo.
Yeah. So how long did you take to go completely?
5 years until I went solo.
Okay.
Before, yeah. And then...
Did you rent somewhere? Or?
I did. I rented a room in a salon and spa. I had like run into... I actually got fired from my job. Oh, they didn't tell me why, but...
They were just like, you gotta go. Maybe you were like too good for them. They're just haters, okay?
I think the doctor that owned the business, his wife didn't like me. I don't know why.
Because she's a hater. Okay?
Yeah. But yeah, it was the best thing that I ever did was like, or it was the best thing that ever happened to me was to get fired. Ran into an old esthetician friend who's like, I just started renting a room. I'm making a shit ton of money. There's a room next to me that's available. It was out in Burbank, California. Uh-huh. And I wound up taking the room. I had like no clients, but I did have a few connections from the medical spa. So I like called all the people that
went over there.
Yeah. And they followed me. So they followed me from like Beverly Hills to Burbank. And I mean, I had clients that followed me since I was like 18 years old. It's like so crazy. And I was there for maybe about a year and a half. I got really busy. I actually hired another friend who was working in my room part-time. And finally I was like, I was 23, but I was like, I'm opening my own spa. Like
this is crazy. So you just got booked and busy like fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then after you went and you got a storefront?
Then I opened a storefront. I was like 23 years old. I had no idea what I was doing, but I just knew I wanted to try. Mm-hmm. So I like got a bunch of renters and just started hustling. I was also doing, this is back in the day. This is like 2012 and Groupon had just started. So I did do a long stint of Groupon, which was simultaneously like the best and the worst thing that I ever did because it kept me really busy and it kept like constant cash flow. But then you were getting all sorts of different types of clientele that were just like bouncing around. So I always tell people now, like, do not do it. But I was doing it in like the Groupon heyday when like you could make like $10,000 in a day.
Are you joking?
Yeah, it was crazy.
How many facials is that?
Like, a lot.
I would burn myself out.
I did. I literally did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you also had booth renters there. Mm-hmm. Was that, tell me the experience.
I mean, it was crazy and it was great. Like at the peak, I had 13 renters.
Are you fucking kidding?
I know.
Barely how many 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many do you have? 4?
Yeah, I can't more.
Girl,
I
was squeezing them in every corner. You know what I mean? Like, and I had some nail techs. I had lash artists. We were doing spray tans. I had a couple employees as well. Like, I was just like in hustle mode. What? And just kind of like testing out the waters. I'm like, this is my own business. Like, I can kind of do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
Like, let's just try it all.
Yeah.
And like, it was great until it wasn't. And it was like, I was so burned out. It was super stressful. A lot of things like my personal life had changed. Like I was getting engaged. And at the same time, the guy that I was renting like my entire storefront from sold it to somebody else. And the new owners wanted to be in my space. And they said, you have 6 months to get out or we're doubling your rent.
Are you joking?
So I said, okay, I'm leaving.
No. So that was kind of a way. Maybe that was just a way of, you know? It was a
transition. Yeah. And it was like a really good transition because I moved into a smaller space and I took a couple people with me. I took a couple people as renters and I took a couple people as employees. Mm-hmm. And I just like really like niched down. Like I didn't have as many people to manage. Like I said, like I'd just gotten married and I was posting a lot of stuff on social media for our honeymoon. And I was getting like a lot of engagement on Instagram. And I was like, wait, I should be doing this for my business.
Yeah.
So I like started putting energy into Instagram and that just kind of took off. Like no one in the beauty world was like or like in the skincare world was like posting a lot on Instagram yet. So it just
kind of new to everybody.
It was new and it blew up.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask you. Like how? Just because Instagram wasn't that in, but you know, back in the day, it's like Facebook.
Yeah.
And I think Twitter.
I think. I was never a Twitter person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just so crazy. Do you feel like now that you're solo, how does it feel? Like,
well, now I'm like, yeah, now it's like I have so much like weight lifted off of me. Like, it's so nice to not have anyone else to manage. Like, I feel like I did all like the crazy stuff like when I was like younger in my career. And now it's like, okay, I've checked all these boxes off. And now it's nice just to be like, I manage a completely different, my business looks completely different now.
Yeah.
And I'm just seeing like a couple clients a month because it's like I like to.
That's like, so crazy.
Yeah, like I'm just doing friends and family mostly.
Is it because of you have the skincare line where I'll kind of more like, is it skincare and products?
It's skincare tools.
Yeah.
So yeah, skincare tools made for estheticians.
And I love it. If you guys haven't tried our fucking towels, they're amazing.
Thank you.
So you transition from like taking clients to making that your priority?
It's been a long transition, and like where I'm at was the actual end goal, and I got here a lot faster than I thought. So once I started promoting the spa on Instagram, I started to grow a big esthetician following, and I'd always wanted to come out with my own product, but I never knew like what. And I was like, I don't want to do just like another cleanser or moisturizer. Like I want to do something that's a little bit different. So I put out a cold roller. And that's what took off like the whole line of like skincare products. Like no one was really doing cold rollers yet. I didn't invent it, but I definitely like made a name for it on the internet. And it just like took off. I started selling them to clients. I was selling them to other estheticians. I was selling them wholesale.
Yes.
We started selling online. I'd also just started a podcast. So everything was just kind of like funneling out and like exploding at the same time.
Yeah. And then trade shows.
Yeah. So I started doing trade shows actually after COVID in like 2021. And that was just so good to like meet people in person and like get our products in estheticians' hands. I just love like a in-person interaction.
Exactly. Because you can kind of explain the product better, and you can kind of even get to know the esthetician.
Exactly.
And kind of just feel the energy from the other esthetician.
Exactly. Or like I've met a lot of people that like I've built into my community. Like maybe we've been DMing for a long time.
Yeah.
And then we finally meet in person.
Yeah.
So
I feel like trade shows it could be a hit or miss, as in like if a person's an esthetician, they should go and actually experience
100%.
it. But I feel like my first year I went, and I'm only saying this because I overspent.
Everybody overspends. It's a thing.
I was like, hold on.
I know.
Next time, now that I just went this year, but I made a list because all the other years that I went, I was just overspending on stuff that I didn't fucking need. And I was just overspending. And I kind of learned throughout the years, okay, maybe I just need to calm the fuck down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're like a kid in a candy shop, right?
Literally.
Especially like if you've never been before.
Yes.
It's like, it's so much fun. But yeah, be careful of overspending at a trade show.
Yes, because my first year, I'm not joking, I think I spent like roughly $5,000.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And I walked out crying.
Yeah.
I walked out
just like with your bed like full of products.
Yes, I walked out, I was like, oh my God. And then I looked back at the products, I'm like, I got the same fucking product, just two different brands. And I was like, this was a long time ago, but now I'm just, I'm just a lot different now. But thankfully, this year I went in and I kind of more filmed for the podcast and just spending. Yeah.
Did you go to you went to Vegas, right? Did you have you been to any of the other shows?
No, but I want to go to New York. Have you been?
Same.
You haven't?
No, I haven't been to New York.
So where have you been to?
I've had shows, or I've done shows in Vegas and in Long Beach. Okay. So in 2020, I was supposed to do like basically like a tour and go to like, I think it was like Philly and Dallas. So I'm considering going this like next year. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because it's a lot of work.
But New York, I heard.
It's a lot of work.
Shout out to Renee Skimaya. He tells me all the time.
It's so
they
insane.
Be going everywhere.
I know.
Drawdown Studios, you know who you are. That's everywhere.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm tired just thinking about it.
And it's 3 days?
Yeah.
All day.
All day. And you have to like, so then you're like shipping, like we have to like ship all of our product and set everything up. So then 3 days turns into like 5 days because there's setup and breakdown. It's wild, but it's so much fun.
That's another side. I just want to know, like, now that you have your own skincare brand and you're only taking a couple clients a month, like, how do you do it? Is it more like you can live off the skincare brand? Let's get into the money.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. So, I mean, I have multiple sources. Like, I have different like streams of income, right?
Yeah.
So I would say I'm making very minimal money when it comes to the facials anymore. Like I got to a point where I didn't want to be like reliant on them anymore. I felt like after doing this for like 15 to 18 years, I was like, I felt trapped in the treatment room. I was like in there 10 hours a day. And I was like, I don't want to just rely on facials to make my money. So that's when I started selling the cold rollers. So I make profit from everything that, like, all my tools that I sell.
Yeah.
I have like an Amazon shop that I make some money from. I make some money from like podcast ads. I'm making money from brand like deals and sponsorships.
Yeah, and I think that's the best. Brands and sponsors. It depends, though.
It depends. And it ranges. It can range anywhere from where, you know, a company's offering you $100 to a company's offering you $1,000 for the same amount of work. Or sometimes, you know, you're making more money with less work.
Oh, yeah.
It's wild.
And then, you know what? Some of them, they reach out to us all the time. And then I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. But sometimes the money is so good. But I'm like, I don't support that brand.
I know.
But it's kind of like, oh, that's a really good number. But I can't do it.
I mean, I've had to turn down some like pretty big numbers as well because I could just tell like the relationship with the company like wasn't going to be a healthy one.
Yes.
And that's hard to say no to like a big dollar sign.
I know.
But I've done it multiple times.
And you see all these influencers do it and it's like you don't really believe in that product, but I know it's because the money was right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like you're a real one for turning down me. I always tell my sister, I'm like, yeah, they can ship us the product.
Yes.
But I'm not gonna.
For sure. Well, I want to always have to try the product first.
Yeah.
And then it's like, can I get behind this? If I can't, like, I'm not talking about it.
Yeah.
Or there have been brands that I like love their product, but they don't want to pay me enough, or they don't understand like what I offer as like a content creator, right? Because like I'm a business owner, like I own a brand, but then I'm also a content creator as well. So I wear a lot of different hats.
How for a person to be like a content creator, like, you know, how did you do it? Like, how do I wear this? Like, how did you manage to like put in your skincare with your content? Like, how do you have the time? Because for me, for example, it's like, fuck, I have to film every facial or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, I think it was easier when I started, like I said, like when I moved my business and like Instagram was like still the it thing and you could just post a picture and get like 1,000 likes. Like it was a different time.
Yes.
And that's when I really built like my base. But now since I don't have clients, like it's not my full-time job because I don't actually work full-time anymore, but it's like the most of my work is making content. And so like if you're in the treatment room and you're making content, I think you need to like schedule separate time. You can't be like filming and like doing the facial, but like I did that for so long. But again, like at the time I could do like a really quick little clip while I was doing the facial and like move on. Now you have to have like the right lighting and link everything and tag everything. It's different.
Yes.
It's different.
And then your angle, like you have to be in this angle for 3 seconds and then you have to move the camera to be on this angle because it gets boring if it's in the same angle for the whole video.
Yeah, you can't.
You know? So
it's not going to do well.
No, it's not. And I know people always say, well, like, how did you, like, I just need to learn how to run social media. It's hard.
It's a whole separate job. Whole separate job. So then you have to be a business owner, you have to be an esthetician, and you have to be a content creator. Like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
So that, and I was. That's why I had to like kind of like step back and like reevaluate, like, where do I want to put like my time and my energy?
Yeah.
You know?
Those booth renters, going back to that, how did they feel when they had no?
They were mad. They were upset with me because they thought that I had known that like there was like a shift in ownership and that like I was going to have to move out. But I literally shared with them as soon as I knew. But, you know, what can I do? I can't take everyone with me. People were definitely like upset, but it did work out where like most people went off and like did their own thing. And there was like 2 or 3 people that wanted to come with me and like it worked out.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience during COVID as well. Like we were shut down for so long, couldn't do facials. They'd like give you the green light and then they'd shut us down again. And it was crazy. And I had to do the same thing. I had a couple of estheticians who were employees that I wound up having to let go. And I was devastated. I was literally giving them my own money because I wanted to take care of people. Like, that's just the type of person that I am. But it got to the point where I was like, I can't like hold on to this part of like my business anymore. Like, I just bought a house. Like, I'm not going to go bankrupt to pay someone else's bills, you know?
Yes. Because I'm getting this advice for myself. Everything you're saying is literally for me. I'm like, hold on.
I got you. So I had to let them go, and they weren't all happy with me, and it was really hard. But it was like the best thing that I ever did, like for myself and for my business.
So do you recommend someone that's like becoming an esthetician, they just work in a med spa first?
If you can, like, go work for someone. Like, I know people say that all the time, and I know there's like limited opportunity. But if you are willing to put in the work and the time and the energy, you can have success. But it's not overnight.
No,
like absolutely. I was broke as shit while I owned the spa. Like, I had a shitty like Honda Civic with like a dent on the side. And like my mom used to like laugh because she like my mom's like my number one fan, like watches all my like social media and like watched like the rise of like
my the number one always,
right?
Shout out to the moms.
And my mom's like, people would laugh at you if they like saw you driving down the street with your like dented Honda
mirror hanging.
No, literally, girl. But people had this like perception that like I was successful because I did have a type of success. Do you know what I mean? But I was broke as shit for a really long time. Like 7-8 years of my career.
Owning the salon.
It wasn't until I got rid of the renters that I started to make some income. And then honestly, it's like when I got rid of everybody else and I just went back to like Kasey is when like I feel like I could actually just receive all the money that I was making instead of giving it away to all the other responsibilities that you have.
Yeah. And it's so true because I always say this in every episode, but I'm like, owning a salon and me sitting in mine, I'm like, I've been here for like almost 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like the bills are just crazy.
They are.
The way that we live right now, we're in California.
I know.
In general.
Yeah.
Like not only do you have to think about the rent, but you got to think about all the utilities. You got to think about the electricity, the water, the Wi-Fi, you know, everything. And it all adds up. And everyone thinks I have the perception of like, yes, you own a salon, you have so much money.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have this, but where's the money going? It's going back into the business, but not really because you're paying the fucking bills with it.
Exactly. And when the AC goes out, your renters are going to be calling you being like, girl, where's the AC? And you're like scrambling.
Yep.
So there's a lot of additional responsibility. And lots of times there's successful people out there, right, that own like spas.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some success, but it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much more responsibility, like managing the people, even if they are renters. You think, oh, they have their own business. They're doing their own thing. Yeah, but they're still walking into your business and they're bringing their clients who sometimes can be, you can't control that.
Mm-hmm. Because their clients are not your clients.
Exactly.
So you don't know.
It's a different vibe.
Yeah. You know what I do though? That's why I always interview the renter. I have to get a vibe.
Yes.
Because if I can't catch a vibe with you, I can't work with you. Even though you're booth renting.
Totally.
I have to see you every day.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Yeah. You have to be You have to be friends. You have to at least be on a similar wavelength.
Exactly.
And that's hard to find just in itself.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And then, you know, I can have a relationship with the booth renter, but I don't know how they are outside of work and who they're going to bring inside the shop. That's going to be their clients.
I have some crazy stories.
Stop. I need to hear one because No, let's do one really quick. Tell me a crazy booth renter story.
I had this. She was a friend of mine. We went to esthetician school together and she was a waxer and she did a lot of manzillions. So she was just doing like manzillions like all day.
Oh my gosh.
Tell the story. Okay. So one day she starts telling me that like this couple like paid for her to like, I don't know if it was like lock him up in the treatment room and like
swinger style,
like not like they weren't having sex, but she was definitely like, I don't know, he had like nipple rings and he wanted to like hang water bottles like after he got waxed. It was like a whole scenario. And she's telling me this and I'm like, okay, wait, you're doing this like in my spa. Like she's telling me as a friend, but I'm like, wait, you're doing this like in my spa?
Like you're her friend conversation, but again, your boss instinct is coming in like, what the fuck?
And I'm like, what if someone finds out? Like, what if I just start like spiraling.
But you're not showing this, are you, to her when she's
No. I'm just listening as the friend.
But your head is like
yeah. And then I was like, wait, did this already happen? And she's like, yeah, and he's gonna pay me to do it again.
Wait, so what did you like?
It was some like weird like fetish, like bondage type, like after he gets waxed. Because I think, some people are into pain, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it was like he was getting his full body waxed, and then she was gonna like tie him up and like hang water bottles off his nipple piercings.
Oh my gosh. Lord Jesus.
Am I going too far?
No, I have worse. Okay. But
that's just one that like sticks out.
That was a weird one. That's like,
but no. I mean, and she was like a great friend and a great renter for like many years. But it did get to the point where I'm like, this is feeling like it's crossing a line personally and professionally, and I just don't feel like safe. Like, why didn't you ask me if you could do this? But
yeah. But it's kind of like she's a booth renter, so it's kind of like
it's a fine line.
But to them, it's like, hey, I could do everything. I'm giving you the money.
Right? She's like, this is my own room. This is my own business. Yeah. And technically, but at the end of the day, like it's my name on the front of the building.
Yeah.
So that was just like a very long. I mean, it took me a long time to like get rid of all the renters, but I have all sorts of crazy stuff like that.
How did you kind of like? For me, I'm cool with all of them. Mm-hmm. All my booth renters are the best. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of hard. It's like, no, I'm not your boss. But it's kind of like you're building a friendship.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the friendship is kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to be late on my rent.
Right.
You're my friend.
Yes. You still have to have like an authority presence with them. And that's where the line gets blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always had them sign a contract, even if it was a friend.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just very clear, like, hey, rent is due on Friday. And like, once in a while, if you need help, like, let me know. Mm-hmm. But this can't be like a regular occurrence. But again, like, that's where the lines get blurry. That's why people have gotten mad at me over the years for many different things. And that's like a hard position to be in,
Yeah.
Because I never wanted to hurt anybody. But unfortunately, people have their own perspective, and you're going to like hurt or disappoint people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like I had to take care of myself and my business first.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard.
I know. I had someone quit on me because I didn't ask how they were doing mentally. And I'm like, when they're at work, and it's kind of like, I'm your friend outside of work. But like when you come inside my salon, you need to kind of be like, you got to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Because then if you have, I'm all about energy. So if you're like just having a resting bitch face when a client comes in,
right.
And then you're just sitting there, here, I'll just check you in. I'm going to get that vibe that's like, oh, no. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like this person told me, like, I'm going to quit because you didn't ask me how I was feeling this day, and it hurt my feelings because you're my friend. And I'm like,
you're like, I'm busy running a business.
Yes.
I'm sorry I didn't check
on
you.
Your paycheck. Hold on. And it kind of it's just hard.
It is hard.
And that's the stuff that's behind the scenes of like owning a business and owning an actual salon where it's like you have other renters. Yeah. Yes, they're renting from you, but it's just hard.
It's messy. And then it's like sometimes they show up in their sweatpants and you're like, that's not the aesthetic of the spa. It's just not. But how can you tell them? Because they're renting from you.
Yeah.
Like that was one of my issues too. I was like, girl, not the sweatpants again. Like, and like, look, unless they're really cute sweatpants. Okay. Like no judgment if that's what you're wearing.
But then, so you let them wear whatever, you let them do everything they wanted.
I mean,
or when they signed a contract, did you have some?
Yeah. I had some like loose guidelines, but people definitely push the limits because again, they have their own perception of what those rules are.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. But I did it for 10, 12 years.
And it's just so crazy that, and it's so true that you do make more income being solo than owning.
Yeah, most of the time. Unless
you're like.
You have to be like balling on and everyone else is balling.
So tell me how you feel about like hourly. Like if you'd say you hire a whole team, and it's like you pay them hourly, and
then you have even more responsibility.
Yeah.
And that's what I had for a while, where it's like I had all employees, and that's even more weight to bear, in my opinion, because then you're responsible for everything in their treatment room, their training, their protocols, their schedule, their laundry, everything. Their clients.
You have to book their clients.
You're paying them all the time.
Every 2 weeks, you know?
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. And like, I'm grateful that I had the opportunity, and I loved training the estheticians, because I really did enjoy that. Like, I was trying to bring in estheticians that were like newly out of school and kind of like train them on how I work. Everything from like how you're greeting the client to how you're setting up the treatment room to the facial to how you're turning over the room. Like, I really taught them every single precise thing that I did. And I did enjoy doing that. But at the end of the day, people still want to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of just, and that's what I'm saying. The internet is very, you know, she's doing it, so let me do it. Kasey's doing her own skincare line, so let me do the products. Let me try to be like her. And it's kind of like, it's so hard because you're trying to be someone else, but it's really like, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
Trying to be like this person. Trying to, she owns a salon, so let me go open up a salon.
Yeah. And that's what's hard about the internet. You know, like, I'm grateful that the internet wasn't really a thing when I started.
Yes. Absolutely.
I also feel like I've paved the way in many places. And I think, again, people have a perception that it looks glamorous, like that I'm sitting in this chair with you having this conversation, but like, it didn't happen overnight, and people don't realize like the tears and blood and sweat and stress and the sleepless nights and the working 24/7
and worrying
at the stress, the anxiety. And like, I love this job and I love this career, and like, I don't have any regrets, but don't compare yourself to people on the internet. Like, just don't. And like, you can't strive to be somebody else. You need to strive to be like the best version of yourself. And like, what do you really want to do? Do you really want to take care of people, or do you really just want to be popular on social media?
Yes. Can we make that a short clip? Did you hear that? Because that's on.
And like, I've been talking to so many estheticians, like on my own podcast, and like mentoring people, and everyone, like, I feel like there's like a sickness in the beauty industry. And like, again, I love it. It has changed my life, but there's a sickness. And for a while, I thought like, I'll be like a bright, shiny light and like stop it. But you can't.
The internet's brutal. It's
brutal.
Yeah.
And like, we can be a bunch of catty bitches. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I've gotten sucked into it, and I see these like younger estheticians getting sucked into it because they're like idolizing,
and they're getting a big head because they're idolizing the person that they're trying to be, and then you know.
But then they're doing all the things that they think they should be doing, and they're not making the money, and they're not feeling good about themselves, and then they're not even paying attention to their clients. Like, I have so many people that I've mentored that are like, well, I want to be doing this and I want to be doing that. I'm like, well, how many clients are you seeing? And they're like, 30. And I'm like, that's amazing. Take care of them. Like, focus on them. Yes. But we're so caught up in like the glitz and the glamour of like a 10-second reel on Instagram instead of like doing the actual job, which is a beautiful job of like making people feel good and look better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I barely started I stopped posting in July.
Did you? You're just like, you're
focused. I was focused on my clients. I was focused on like, okay, I stopped recording myself for a long time because I was really pregnant, and I was just nauseous as fuck. Not gonna let that, but
you were living your real life.
Yes.
You were living your real life.
Yeah.
And that's what's so important, is to like live your real life. I got to a point where I was like posting every day, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yes.
Where it was like 24/7. And now I post when I feel like it.
Yeah.
And
if this is a career, I'm just gonna post it. Fuck your opinions. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I would always say, get everyone's opinion. How does this look before I post it? does this look good? And I was just like, you know what? Fuck them.
Yeah.
Like,
just post.
I'm going to post it because it's cute in my eyes, you know?
Like, I love to create content. Like, I'm always taking pictures and videos, whether it's for work or like my personal life. And I just love to share. Like, if you go to my personal account, I'm sharing all the time there too.
Yeah.
And that's all I want to do now. Like, I just want to share interesting content, but I'm not here to like make some huge impression.
Yeah.
I'm not here to like impress anybody. Like, I just want to share. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, this time now, I feel like just I said this in my last one, a couple episodes ago, and it was so true. And someone stated too, like, the time that we post when we're saying, all the reels of us doing facials and stuff, there people are thinking that we're completely booked.
Right.
And it's reality. Yes. It's like, no, we have like 2 clients that day. Okay? That's how
so
I
real.
got.
It is.
That's how I got to make this fucking video, because I had a 5-hour gap.
Yes.
For real.
No,
because
totally.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I don't have time. Trust me.
Right? And like, if people don't follow me super closely, they might think that I'm like a booked and busy esthetician because of like I'm posting regular facial content.
Yes.
But little do you know, it's like a couple esthetician friends, a couple family members that I'm giving facials to every month.
Me.
And I'm not doing it to be deceptive.
Yeah.
I'm just sharing.
Yeah. That's why I'm just like, you know what? It really helped me is now I'm taking days, like my off days are content days, because now I can't. Like, if I have a full book day, I'm not going to post anything.
I love that.
And then I'll take my time posting the video, editing the video, filming the video the day that I'm off, because I know I'll have more time. Yeah. Now I have to think of before, you know, COVID time was my prime year. For a lot of people, it was. For a lot of people, closed on businesses. But for me, it was like it just took off, because at the time, I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know if I wanted to do wax. I didn't know if I wanted to do facials.
You were exploring.
Yeah. I didn't know if I wanted to just do brows. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. So I was doing so much, but not knowing the niche of what I really wanted.
But that's okay. But it sounds like you figured it out.
Yeah, I figured it out, but it took me a long time. But I was trying, and I see all these, and I'm not even, that used to be me. I was trying to get income from doing all these things.
Yeah.
But a real person that makes actual money is focusing and putting their 100% into their one thing. Yes.
Into their work.
Yeah.
Not what they're posting.
Yes.
Yes.
And for me, like, I was doing eyebrows, and then after eyebrows, I would just do, I was doing nails at one point.
Okay. So you really did everything.
Yeah, I tried doing everything, because I was like, I don't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah. And you're seeing, right. And then you're being fed all this information online.
Yes.
Like, I want to do that. I want to do that.
And then the income was coming. So I was like, oh my God, I like this fast money. Right. But then that turned into like, what the hell do I want to do? And what's going to make me the money?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Target skincare brands.
Okay.
Because you're the queen. Let's talk.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I honestly don't have that much of an opinion, because I don't actually want to be a hater, or I'm not a hater. If it's something that I'm not interested in, I just don't give it any energy. Like, I feel like I see a lot of people on the internet that want to like complain about the skincare brands. It's okay if you do. Like, there's no judgment.
Yeah.
It's just not like something I want to put my energy into.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, like, it depending on your budget, right? Like, there's going to be a lot of people that go to Target. But if you wanted something like even semi-decent for your skin, find an esthetician who can recommend something for you, instead of like cherry picking stuff that's not going to be good for your skin and then throwing it in the trash, or it sits in your cabinet the rest of your freaking life. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But like, I feel like at this point in my life and my career, like, I don't have time to talk shit and judge Target skincare. I'm just not going to buy it.
Can I just tell you that I'm not even going to front? Okay. I've had some clients. I've had some clients that will not buy products from estheticians, products from me, but they love Sephora.
Sephora.
Sephora's like, oh, I'll buy this brand, I'll buy this brand, I'll buy this brand.
And it's the same price.
It's the same price.
I think they like the shopping experience, which like I get, because I like to go in there too.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. People are always like, oh, there's like the big Sephora sale. Like, what should I buy? I'm like, no skincare.
Makeup,
perfume. Yeah. That's it. Don't buy skincare.
Yeah.
But again, like, it's just like not my personality to like go and like talk shit one more time about like the apricot scrub. Like, just don't use it. But when it comes to like clients, I got to a point where I was like, if you're going to come to me every single month and complain to me about the same fucking shit, sorry, I don't know if I can cuss or not.
Cuss. You can cuss.
Then you need to at least try to incorporate like the cleanser that I'm recommending, the serum that I'm recommending. It could be one thing at a time, like one every single month. Like if you're on a budget, I'll work with you.
Yes.
But it got to the point where it's like, unless you're taking my recommendations, like you cannot come back to me for a facial.
I need to be as blunt as you.
Yeah, I am blunt. I am.
Because I get a lot of people, maybe next time. And then they come to me the next month and it's same issue. Thing. Well, if the cleanser that I'm using, I'm like, I've been told you to just get this one. I've even been given samples.
Right. Yeah, I used to do that too.
And it's like, what the fuck is it? What am I doing?
Yeah, I think there's like you can kindly and blunt. You can be kind and blunt at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, look, you know, Cindy, like you've been doing this for a long time with me, and you're not seeing the improvements. Like, I think you need to like shift your perspective on the products that I'm recommending. It's the same thing like if you're going to see a trainer and then you're eating McDonald's every day and you're not seeing the results.
Yeah, that's
your trainer
so
might
true.
break up with you.
Yeah.
Like I have definitely broken up with clients. Have you? Like, have you ever fired a client?
Yes, but not for that reason.
Okay.
For like constantly being late.
Yeah.
Constantly rescheduling.
Yeah.
Rescheduling 10 minutes before. Having to reschedule a loyal client is really hard.
It's so hard.
But I had to put my foot down.
You have to.
Because I'm, you know, and it sucked, but I had to do that multiple times.
Yeah, I have to.
And it's like, oh, I thought we were friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I always get those text messages. Yes, we're friends, but friends take my business seriously and take my time seriously.
Exactly. Friends respect me and my time.
And you're not.
Yeah.
So for that reason, yes. But it's hard. I don't even know how in the beginning, you know, like I said, I took a lot of shit.
We all do.
To get to where I'm at.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes. You kind of have to. It's just like, it's like a rite of passage, right?
Yeah.
Like at first you're kind of like doing the grunt work and you'll take anyone who walks through the door.
Yes.
And then like you learn and you grow. It's the same thing as like finding friends or like a romantic relationship. Like you have to go through, like I've been through a lot of shitty boyfriends like to get to my husband. It's the same thing with clients, right? You have to like even know the type of client that you want. And so you're going to have to experience some that are not so great to get to the ones that like now I have like a niche group of people that are my clients and like I love them, you know?
How do you know, there's a lot, that's a really good topic. How do you decide your client? Like how do you know the type of client?
Okay, so like I started to get really specific with like the type of person that I wanted.
Yeah.
And I actually based it off of one of my clients. A female, she was about my age. I think she might have been like a couple years younger, but like around my age group, which at the time I think was like late 20s, like early 30s, who like had a good job. And then I got really specific. She was a lawyer and I was like, I want like balling, like rich lawyer clients. And then they all started like coming in.
So did you kind of like
I energetically was like trying to match that energy. I was also lucky enough that she like referred me a couple people as well, like in her friend group who were either lawyers or like the same kind of energy.
Yeah.
But I think if you like, I believe in manifestation and I believe in like energy. And so I'm like, if I'm like matching that energy, like I will attract them. And I did. That were willing to like spend hundreds for a facial. Like at the top of my game, I don't like to normally talk about money, but like at the top of my game, I was charging almost $400 for a facial.
Wow. Did you see my face? That's amazing. That's amazing.
But I was taking like 2-hour appointments that were completely curated and custom that you're getting top of the line everything, you know?
Yes.
And they were willing to pay it.
Yeah.
Because I was skilled. Like they were paying for my experience.
Yeah. And you know what, too? A lot of people, when you say that price, they're like, $400 for a facial. Do you not know how much these machines are? Okay.
Right.
The machines that you're using, the equipment that you have.
So expensive.
It's so expensive. It's not just $300. I'm talking thousands. Yeah. My hydro machine was
a lot.
Ridiculous.
I know.
You know, so I know that when a lot of people ask, I have the same regulars. I've been having these regulars, but they'll pay it. And when my prices go up and up, they'll pay it. And that's the type of clientele that
they respect like your time, your energy, your experience. Yes. Like I wasn't charging $400 when I started at 18. No, like it took me till I was 34, you know, or 33 years old to like charge that much. So like you're also paying for like my knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you kind of decide? Like, how did you like, did people decide like a message and say, hey, I want to book a facial with you? And you kind of were like, no, automatically? Or like, how did you kind of justify the client that you were taking? Just based off their Instagram?
It got to the point where it was pretty much like referrals only. Like, you know, like I had my base clientele. It's like, you know, I knew all my people that were coming on certain days and certain times. I'm sure you have the same thing, right? It's like I had my like regular Saturday lineup and I was like looking forward to seeing all of them.
Yeah.
So it really had to be someone who was like typically referred to me and could fit into my schedule.
Wow.
You know, and pay the price.
So your facials, when you first started, solo, how much?
Okay, so here's a crazy thing I was telling you about Groupon.
Yeah.
When I was doing Groupon, I was charging as low as like $25 for like a peel and $69 for a facial. And then by the end of my like stint in the treatment room, I'm charging $400. Like could remember driving the shitty Honda Civic with a dent, charging, $25 for a peel to now.
And how long were the facials?
I think it was like a 20-minute peel, or like a $69. I think it was like 45 minutes maybe. But still, which is like way too cheap. And remember, this is also like 2013.
Yeah.
But still, that's way too cheap.
Yeah.
To ever be charging.
So now if someone's solo, do you recommend keeping the prices low?
I don't think you should be too low. I'm hoping that if you are going solo that you already have some experience and that you're kind of like somewhere in the middle. Like do some research and see what people are charging in your area because that's going to vary too. Like I live in LA, so I think I was lucky that I can charge up to $400 where maybe if you're somewhere in the Midwest, you might not charge that much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It depends on your area and the demographic of people. I would say be somewhat competitive, but also charge your worth.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because at first I was like, how do I go based off of like, but then I have to think of my area.
Yeah.
In the IE, this is a good area.
It is. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I have to kind of, and then I would always raise my price, not a lot, like not every 2 weeks. That's crazy. But I would kind of like,
you're
raise
like
my,
it.
Yeah.
I say at least you're raising your prices at least once a year.
Absolutely.
And if you start to get like really busy and you're seeing this like influx of money and maybe there's some clients that you are hoping you're going to break up with, like raise it again because that will like cut the people who might not like match your energy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And those Groupon people, anyone come to you still?
No. I did have a few, but I finally broke up with like there was a few that were great that like stayed with me for like a really long time.
Yeah.
Until I finally had to break up with them.
How do you break up with your clients?
I was like a mixture of things. And then again, it was crazy. Like with COVID, like I just kind of like let go of everything, which I don't know is kind of sad. I've had all sorts of weird breakups. I'm trying to think of like anything. I mean, I've had people be upset with me. I'm like, I'm sorry, like can't see you. I've had people like hang up on me. I'm never like mean or rude. I'm typically like a lawyer and just kind of like I just give you the information with not a lot of emotion.
And they're like, well, she's fucking rude.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, it wasn't rude. This is just business, baby.
It's just business. Yeah. Like you've been late 10 times. I kept letting you know that this isn't going to work for me because I have clients before you and after you.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And then just let them go.
Yeah.
Oh, me. I'm so... it's hard.
It's just part of the job. It's part of the job. And I think that's what people need to be aware of is that that's also like something you're going to have to deal with on a regular basis.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with clients.
Yeah.
But
so this is a question. Do you recommend even getting into the salon? Like, do you even recommend someone even owning a salon? Do you recommend them?
I think if like you have the dream, like if you have the desire, you should do it. Because since I was a little girl, that was always my dream, was to own a business and like have a storefront. But I'm also the type of person where like I have to go through with it. Do you know what I mean? Like I have to finish something to completion to know if I like it or not. So I had to have the storefront. Like I had to. Do you know what I mean?
Like it was
just like in my body, in my bones. Like I had to do it to see how it felt. And I did it. And then I was like, okay, I don't want to do it anymore. And it wasn't that easy to like say I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. It was actually hard and devastating. And like we were talking about, it's like, well, they need me. Who's going to take care of them? Where are they going to go? And I got to the point where like, no, I have to take care of Kasey. And like Kasey doesn't want to own a big spa anymore. Yeah. Like I just want to I want to live my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's such good advice, because I'm in that realm right now. It's like, and I love podcasting too.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want to just podcast, show myself online, take a couple clients here and there, and not focus on like the bills like that I have,
and the laundry
and the
utilities and like you have to stock your bar and you have to stock everything. Yes.
Yeah. I just want to stock up the bar at my house, not the shop. You know? Right. Like that's what I literally, you know, and it just, sometimes it's like, I'm in that age where like I started doing this when I was like 21 and I'm 27 now. Okay. And I feel like now I'm just at that age where I just kind of want to just not worry about like, oh my God, I have an agenda every single day. Right. I need to do this.
Well, now you're a homeowner. Now you have a baby. Yeah. Like this isn't like the top maybe the top priority. And or like your priorities just like shift, you know? Mm-hmm. And like you did it and now you know how it feels. And that's it. And you should be proud of yourself. Yes. You should definitely be proud of yourself. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But it's like nothing's forever. Yeah. But if you want to do it, I say go for it. But just like do the research and don't just be doing it for the glitz and the glamour of the perception of social media.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have this crazy question, but how was your experience with esthetician school? Because
oh my God. The drama.
Did you have drama?
I mean, I think when you put typically a bunch of women in a room, yes, there's going to be drama. I am lucky that I was in a class. I was 18, but everybody else was a lot older. And of course, there's like a little bit of drama, but everyone was like really nice to me. And I had like a little cute like core group of like estheticians that like we all went through school together. But I hear some crazy stories. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is this like high school all over again, but worse?
Yeah. Did you feel like you actually learned though?
No. I didn't. I went to Maranello School of Beauty. I think.
Oh my God, they closed down.
Yeah, they're all closed down. Fuck. Exactly. Exactly. They're all closed down. Like and it's crazy. I think I spent like, again, this is like 2008. I spent like $10,000 in 2008, which is so crazy. But then I had another friend that went to like, you know, the Valley College, like up the street, and spent like $1,000. So I'm like, do it inexpensively if you can, unless you know there's like a school out there that's like amazing and pristine, which there are some in the country. I just don't know where they are. And like, get your license, like pass your state board, and then that's when the real work actually starts.
Yeah. Because a lot of people are like, okay, I'm going to esthetician school. I'm going to kind of learn something, and they don't learn anything. And they're like, well, I'm taking thousands of dollars outside to learn to these courses. I'm taking this facial course and doing this. And I'm spending double the money because I didn't learn anything at esthetician school. And it's the truth. You just don't learn anything at esthetician school.
You're paying for your license. So do it as cheap as you can. Do it as fast as you can. And that's when the real work starts. And you have to budget that in.
Yeah. You know, I wanted to live this LA lifestyle at one point. Okay. Okay. I lived in Century City. Okay. I was trying to be an LA girl. Okay. I'm from the IE. Okay. Fuck no, I'm not LA girl. Okay. The parking was ridiculous. I know. Okay. First of all, you had to go and park somewhere else if you want to go to a grocery store. There's like The underground parking lots, fucking $30 of parking.
It's true.
I couldn't do it.
I know.
I couldn't do it.
$30 to go to Trader Joe's.
That's literally what it was.
I know.
I was like, hell no. I rented a room smaller than this room that I have.
A closet.
For $2,000.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was horrible.
Okay, but you did it.
But I did it.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a makeup artist. That was my dream.
Okay, same. Wasn't it all of ours?
It was what it is. I fuck that. But anyways, I went to Veda. I wanted to go check out the school.
Yeah.
$25,000 to be an esthetician.
But was the school beautiful?
Amazing.
Yeah. I think they do have a decent education too, from what I heard. Yeah. But you have to spend the money and find the right school, or you're going to have to do outside education or get a job somewhere where you're actually getting paid to learn. Like, that's what I did. I was working in a medical spa. And like, I was also numbing tattoos for tattoo removal, but I learned so much while I was getting a paycheck.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you know what? Medical spas, I feel like you learn more because you're with a doctor, you're with the nurse. And, it's like kind of like, a lot of people that I know that are estheticians want to transition into nursing. So they get their esthetician license and they're going to go get their nursing license.
Right.
Trying to do the Botox and the filler. Mm-hmm. So I have a nurse that works here.
Okay.
She does Botox and filler. And she's like, she wants to open up her own storefront now because she's working here and I get her the clientele. So she's like, I'm learning the back end. Mm-hmm. And it's so smart just to work.
It is. Yes. Learn from other people. Like I learned how to do like some like pretty heavy peels and dermaplaning at like early in my career because of the medical spa. Yeah. Like I wouldn't have had the opportunity if I went solo.
And it's not about what you know, it's about who you know, because you're going to learn from that person.
Exactly.
And that person that you know is going to open up so many doors.
So many. Yeah. Even if they're not all good doors, at least you have the opportunity.
I'm like, I always tell people that I went to college.
Okay.
Didn't teach me much. I'm still going to school. Okay. But I met so many people being in this industry that I actually opened up so many doors for me.
Oh my God, same. It's all about, I mean, being an esthetician, you need to network.
Absolutely.
Because if not, you're in a dark room by yourself 10 hours a day. Mm-hmm. So you have to find other ways to network. But that is like, you gain so much knowledge and experience from that.
Yeah.
Even just conversations like this. Like I always learn from having conversations like this.
Yeah. But you know what? I don't know. Estheticians though, sometimes y'all, it's just like cosmetology are fucking fun.
Uh-huh.
Their side when the trade shows are lit. They're just amazing. It's just, you go to the party. Fucking esthetician side, it's just resting.
Yeah. It does attract a certain type of person.
It's intimidating. It's like,
it can be very cliquey.
Yes. Yeah. It's like this person knows this person. It's just like, and I'm like,
well, we need to break that.
Yeah.
I'm over that.
Yeah. And I'm like, fuck. Like I went to the Vegas trade show and I'm not going to say who it was, but I was so intimidated by this person.
Okay. You have to tell me after.
Yeah. I had to tell you who it was. And I was like, fuck no, I'm not going up to you. I cannot go up to you. I can't say who I am because it was just like, and I would go to the cosmetology.
You can't sit with us?
Yeah. And I go to the cosmetology side and I know a lot of people, I'm like, fuck yes. Yeah. Like I know it was just so fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like that it goes back into like, you need to network. You need to be out there. You need to be nice.
Yes. And like with healthy, like other people, not the mean girls.
Yeah. Not the mean girls.
Not the mean girls. Don't glamorize them.
Yeah. And it's just this industry, this whole beauty industry is just so oversaturated.
There's a lot of people. Yeah.
And everyone's trying to do what other people are doing.
Yeah.
And I think it's just kind of like, fuck, I don't know.
I know. I mean, I'm tired of it, to be quite honest. I am.
This era fucking sucks. I want to go back into the...
Right? No more social media.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
How was it those times? How did you even like...
I feel like I just like put blinders on, because if I like gave everyone attention who's like taken one of my ideas or like copied me, like I would just be like under the blankets like crying. You know what I mean? But like keep copying, because I'll keep coming up with new ideas. Okay.
And she's a fucking blueprint. I'm sorry. The ice globes was her first. I'm like, you know what? You know what was you first in my head?
Okay.
The towels.
They were. Yeah, no one's done it. No one did it before me.
And I fucking love those.
Thank you.
And I never seen them before.
No.
And when you came out with them, now I see shitload.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. People like to use clouds now too, and the brushes. But it's just that's the way of the world. Like, I didn't invent a towel. I didn't invent fan brushes. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's actually no like original ideas in the world. I just happened to do something that was like a little bit different, and I have a large platform. And then I do my best to take it as like a compliment, but it is hard, you know. And I could like go after all those people and file lawsuits, but like, what a waste of time. So I'll just come out with another new product that no one's done yet.
Yeah,
which I'm doing.
When are we expecting?
Spring 2025.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about this one. And I'm not going to lie. I decided like I am going to just like make it a big deal. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm making it a big deal. Like, I made the towels a big deal and the cold rollers by making this an even bigger deal.
No, can I tell you? I found out about you from the towels.
Okay.
And I just, after that, I was like, oh my gosh, like this whole line is amazing.
Thank you.
You know, the roller. I just see you making a video and she's in there with her little headband and just rolling her face.
Yeah.
And then, you know, also your aesthetic too, just your vibe, your, like, I could just go in your room and I know that the energy, I'll know I'll fucking fall asleep. You know, and
you'll have to come in for a facial.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just knock out. I'll be snoring because your vibe is just like, and then you go to my vibe and it's like, but it's because, you know, my clients they don't like silent appointments.
Right.
You know, they like,
they
like the chisme. They like the talking. They like me, you know, they like therapy.
Yeah. I mean, I have some clients like that where it's like, we will talk for 2 hours straight and they need more time. But then some of them are like snoring. So. Yeah.
And I feel like the way your vibe, and then that's what drew me to you. And it's just like your aesthetic and your vibe and just like overall, like your little short clips, videos are just so cute. And I was just like, you make it fucking big deal, okay?
I'm making it a big deal.
Spring 2025. We don't know what it is, but it's coming.
You'll come to the party.
Oh my, there's a party? Oh shit. Oh, there's going to be a party. Did you have any other launch parties for anything else?
No, because... No, I mean, the cold rollers like was my first thing and I didn't know it was going to explode. And then the towels, I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't. You know, I made a big deal about them. I mean, the towels, to be quite honest, like changed my life and changed my career. That's why I can sit here and be like, I don't have to work full time. Yeah. Is because those towels literally changed my life. Like, as many people, you know, I could complain that like as so many people have like emulated some of the things that I've done. They've changed my life. They're like my bread and butter. I believe that they have like changed the industry standard and they've changed like my career, my business. And like, I'm so grateful for that. And I just want to keep producing content and products that are actually going to be beneficial to the esthetician. Like, that's always my goal. It's not how many followers. It's not even really how much money. I really do
enjoy it.
I love it. And I really do want to help people and just come up with like cool things that haven't been done before.
Yeah. So that's what we see from you. We see just the content, right?
Yeah.
We see your products.
Yeah.
So you think in the future, you're just going to be completely done with taking even the month clients every now and then and just focus completely on your product line? Is that what we're...
I mean, I think I'll always have a treatment room. And I feel like if I'm not touching a couple faces even a month, I'm kind of sad. Like, I like to be in it.
Yeah.
And that's where I get like a lot of my like creative ideas. But I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure what the future holds. I feel like there's been other things that have been calling me and like I'm ready to kind of dive into that.
Which is something different?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
But I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm just using the extra free time that I have to put into like a new creative venture. But I'm not going anywhere.
She's not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. Not yet.
So your product line is something that we have spring 2025 coming.
Yeah, new product 2025.
Okay.
It's coming. But yeah, I mean, you can check out all my products, cold rollers, fan brushes, towels.
The best. I also have your fan brushes.
Oh, you do? I brought you some more today too.
They're the best.
They are. They are.
So do we have anything else to see in the future from you?
I don't know. I mean, the new product, and then, you know, like I was saying with this like new venture, like I've been singing.
I'm trying to get her to say it low key, but not
I'll tell you. Well, because I want to start sharing. I'm just like terrified, but I've been singing and writing music. So
what?
Yeah.
You sing, Kasey? What else can't you do?
Can dance too, you know?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's something I told, like in the beginning, I told you like I was a dancer. That's how I got into this career. And the music's been calling me, and I feel like I have to try.
So like what kind of like what is it like?
I'm not sure yet. Like I'm a dance music lover, but I also like love R&B. So I kind of maybe want to like fuse them together. But I'm kind of just like on this journey right now, and I don't know where it's gonna lead me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's like more, is it more like maybe like singing? I could see, oh my God, this is so cute. I could see your vibe in a coffee shop, just like then you're starting off there, and then you're just slowly
so working my way up.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the goal. Like I need to start singing somewhere in public. I'm down for a coffee shop.
Do you have anything out right now that we can listen to?
I mean, only like my esthetician, like affirmations and like my meditation, but that's not me singing. I'm like speaking.
Did anyone know that you sing?
Not really, but it's funny that I've been slowly telling people, and no one seems like surprised.
Yeah, I'm fucking surprised.
You're surprised?
So surprised.
Not like surprised, but I mean, like people are like, oh, that like
I didn't know you had that many talents. Like, literally, that's what I'm saying. My only talent.
We'll see. Tell me once the music comes out if it's good or not.
I'm going to be like, listen, this is a great start. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to be like, this shit's high.
It's not going to be fire to be. I don't know.
No, I can totally see
We'll see. I mean, I was singing in the car all the way here.
See, that's the time that you have to put like a little tripod and just saying.
I did.
Oh. The fucking content never stops.
It never stops. It's just gonna be me singing now.
That's so
with a towel.
Put on your fucking bio next.
Dead. Okay, if you are an OG Glow Skincare Kasey Boone fan, then you will know that I did come out with a cold roller music video in like 2018.
Are you serious?
Yes.
A fucking music video?
I made a music video. This was like before TikTok too.
Are you joking?
No, I swear.
Where is it?
I'll find it. I think it might be on YouTube.
How's the video? Like, what are you doing?
I'm like dancing with a cold roller. It's so fucking funny.
This is my fucking spirit animal.
I just was like, I want to do music videos, so I did.
Yeah. And you just with her fucking ice globes
just
too.
with the cold roller. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So more to come.
Wait, did you go like this or something?
Of course. And then I had like 2 and I was like dancing.
Oh my gosh. See, now when this new product comes, you have to do a music video.
Oh, another one.
And then you need to like maybe do a voiceover, you fucking singing. Can I say?
Tell me.
My dream was to sing too.
Really? Well, it's never too late.
I fucking suck. But if you go on one of my videos, I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
You know, do you watch Hannah Montana?
I did a little bit, yeah.
Okay, you know her intro?
Mm-hmm. That was you were singing it?
Yeah.
That's cute.
And the whole fucking intro is me singing it.
I love that.
And it was the worst.
No.
But you know what? It was for like comedy skits and shit. And
totally.
It, but it didn't take off.
That's okay.
But you know what?
Keep going. Keep going.
I sing to myself, so it's fucking it's fine.
You have to start somewhere. That was me too. I was like singing for myself, and then I was like, wait, I think I actually want to do this.
Yeah. And
I'm like terrified, and I kind of want to like cry and throw up, but I'm going to do it.
You're going to do great.
I'm going to do it. Thank you.
You're going to do great. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for being on my podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You're literally the best.
You're so
spirit
sweet.
Animal. This is literally like the best. We always end this podcast with a quote, though.
Okay.
So any quotes that you have in mind,
oh my God.
Anything that you have to share, it could be anything. It could be funny. It could be something inspiring, something that you want to put out, something that Kasey, believes in.
Don't compare yourself. Be yourself and have fun.
I love that. Short, simple.
Yeah.
That was cute, huh, Marlo? You give that a fucking round of applause. Well, thank you so much for driving out here.
Thank you for having me.
You guys came all the way from LA to Rancho. Thank you so much.
Worth it. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope to see you in the next one.
Yes, 100%.
All right. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.